Welcome all my dear students to Sudharma's physics classroom. We are already done with the chapter discussion of magnetic effect of electric current from CBSE grade 10. So in today's video we are going to discuss the score makers questions of our board exam. So let's score complete mark, full marks from this chapter. Everyone would like to do that, right? Full marks from this chapter. So, hope all of you are aware of the CBSE board exam pattern. There are 3 sets of question paper every year. So, each one of you will be getting different question papers. So, if you check those question papers of last year or the last year question paper, you will come to know that most of these questions are coming, especially the HOTS questions are coming from NCERT exemplar questions. Those who have already practiced these questions feel the exam really easy. So it's the best method to score full marks in our board exams. So let's start with the questions. So already MCQs, I have done a separate video. The link I will be posting in the description box. So in this video, it is the descriptive questions, short answer and long answer questions I'm going to discuss. Okay. So I'll tell you which all questions came repeated in our board exams also. So the first question is, a magnetic compass needle is placed in the plane of the paper near a point A as shown in figure. In which plane should a straight current carrying conductor be placed so that it passes through A and there is no change in the deflection of the compass? Under what condition is deflection maximum and why? So it may look little bit difficult for you because it's containing the plane and all, right? Which plane? So it is so for those who are able to visualize the things, it is easy to understand. But I will try my best to explain in a very simple way. A magnetic compass needle is placed in a plane of paper near a point A. So you imagine a compass, magnetic compass, kept on the table. Okay. So imagine a compass kept on the table, and there is a point A on this side of the table. Okay. In which plane should a straight current carrying conductor be placed? So already they have shown the deflection in this direction, right? This is the deflection. So we have to keep a straight current carrying conductor be placed so that it passes through A and there is no change in the deflection of the compass. So under what condition the deflection is maximum? So where do we place this? Which plane we should place? So the concept of plane, when you keep this on the table, that table surface is the plane which contains the compass needle, right? So if you keep a current carrying conductor in the plane, right? So for the first question, the part A of the question, we can say that in the same plane as the compass needle. Okay. So how do we explain that? How do you understand that there is no deflection? So when you keep the conductor on the table, when just leave the word plane from your mind. You just say that you are keeping, when we answer, we have to use the word plane. Okay. So we're going to keep the conductor on the table. When you keep the current carrying conductor on the table, so when you apply our right hand thumb rule, we can understand whichever direction the current is, our fingers will be trying to go into the plane or out of the plane, right? In a horizontal plane when we are keeping the conductor. So in that case, the compass needle is free to move only in the horizontal plane. It cannot move in the vertical plane, right? So compass needle will not go into the plane. So it will not be able to show a deflection. It doesn't mean that there is no magnetic field. There is a magnetic field, but it will not be able to deflect because compass needle can deflect only in the horizontal plane. Okay. And under what condition is the deflection maximum and why? So keep the conductor perpendicular to the plane of the compass, needle. So you will be getting maximum deflection because when you keep the conductor perpendicular, whichever direction the current is, either clockwise or anti-clockwise magnetic field will be generated and you will be getting a deflection in the compass needle. Hope you understood this. So perpendicular to the table means perpendicular to the plane of the compass means imagine you are keeping a conductor perpendicular to your table, 90 degree with your table. Okay, that's it. Next question. Under what conditions permanent electromagnet is obtained if a current carrying solenoid is used? Support your answer with help of a labeled circuit diagram. Under what conditions a permanent electromagnet is obtained? Permanent magnet is obtained. Okay. So if you use steel as the core material, we have studied we can use soft iron as the core material for the electromagnet. If you are using steel as the core material, it will become a permanent magnet. And why? We have to explain. Support your answer with the help of the diagram. This is the diagram we can use from our textbook. Okay, so draw a solenoid which is connected to the cell or a battery and insert steel as the core material. So steel will be gaining magnetism and it will retain its magnetism. It will not lose its magnetism. Permanent magnet shouldn't lose its magnetic properties, right? So steel will not lose its magnetic properties. So steel will become a permanent magnet. This is a repeated question in our board exam. And question number 15. Most of the time we can see this question and see it will be very familiar for you if you have done these questions already. Okay. Otherwise it looks little bit difficult. So question number 15 is AB is a current carrying conductor in the plane of the paper as shown in figure 13.7. What are the directions of magnetic fields produced by it at points P and Q? Given R1 is greater than R2, where will the strength of the magnetic field be larger? So we have to say in which direction the magnetic field will be, and the current is moving upward. Use right hand thumb rule. Okay, so use your right hand thumb rule. Thumb in the direction of current. The fingers which wraps around the conductor will give you the direction of magnetic field. So at P, so question number 15, at P, the magnetic field will be into the plane, right? Into the plane. And at Q, it will be coming out of the plane. Out of the plane. Okay, so or we can say we'll be getting an anti-clockwise magnetic field, but what are the directions, right? What are the directions? So at P, it will be into the plane, and at Q, it will be out of the plane. And if R1 is greater than R2, where will the strength of the magnetic field be larger? R1 is greater than R2. So we know that when the distance is less, the magnetic field strength will be more. So at Q, the strength will be more. Okay, at Q, the strength will be more because R2 is towards Q. R2 is the distance from the conductor to the point Q. So wherever the distance is less, because R2 is less than R1, so magnetic field strength will be more at Q. Okay, hope you understood that. Next question, a magnetic compass shows a deflection when placed near a current carrying wire. How will the deflection of the compass get affected if the current in the wire is increased? Support your answer with a reason. A magnetic compass shows deflection when placed near a current carrying wire. How will the deflection of the compass get affected if the current in the wire is increased? If the current in the wire is increased, magnetic field strength will increase and the deflection will increase. 17th question, it is established that an electric current through a metallic conductor produces a magnetic field around it. Is there a similar magnetic field produced around a thin beam of moving alpha particle neutrons? Justify your answer. Question number 17. We know that any charged conductor, any charged particle will experience a force. So alpha particles, it is sometimes you see this symbol alpha. Okay, alpha particle, they are positively charged particles. Okay, alpha particles are positively charged. So it is similar to a proton moving in a magnetic field. It will experience a force. Okay, it will experience a force. Alpha particles will experience a force. Neutrons. What are neutrons? Do they have any charge? Neutrons, no charge. Right? Neutrons doesn't have any charge, so it will not experience any deflection. So no deflection. No deflection because neutrons are chargeless, so it will not experience any force. Next question. What does the direction of thumb indicate in the right hand thumb rule? In what way this rule is different from Fleming's left hand rule? All of you know this answer, right? The thumb in the right hand thumb rule indicates the direction of current. In Fleming's left hand rule, the thumb will be indicating the direction of motion or force acting on the current carrying conductor. That's it. Maynard draws magnetic field lines of field close to the axis of a current carrying circular loop. As she moves away from the center of the circular loop, she observes that the lines keep on diverging. How will you explain her observation? Maynard draws magnetic field lines of field close to the axis of a current carrying circular loop. As she moves away from the center of the circular loop, she observes that the lines keep on diverging. So when the lines keep on diverging, we can say that the strength of the magnetic field is decreasing. If they are coming closer, then the strength will be more. So when she is moving away from the center, right, we can see that the field lines are diverging. Diverging means move away from each other, right? It just moves away from each other. So when it moves away from each other, the strength is decreasing. And we know, if you remember, you know that this outside the circular loop, then the magnetic field will be it just move away from the circle, right, away from the coil. Question number 20. What does the divergence of magnetic field lines near the ends of a current carrying straight solenoid indicate? So when it is diverging from each other, the strength is decreasing. Question number 19 and 20 is of almost a similar answer. 21. Name 4 appliances wherein an electric motor, a rotating device that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy, is used as an important component. Just try to answer this, and if you think about your kitchen, you can see different appliances which use this motor. We have mixers, grinders, fan, washing machine, right? Washing machines. All these will be using electric motors. You can get a lot of examples for this. In what respect motors are different from generators? Motors are the device which converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. Generators are converting mechanical energy into electrical energy. That is the main difference. Okay. What is the role of 2 conducting stationary brushes in a simple electric motor? In a simple electric motor, the brushes, through the brushes, the electric current will be reaching to the armature. It plays the role of a conducting path between the battery and the armature coil or the rectangular coil. They are stationary. Always remember that brushes are stationary. What is the difference between a direct current and an alternating current? How many times does AC used in India change direction in 1 second? What is the main difference? What is the difference between AC and DC? AC is alternating current. So if you are asked to draw a diagram for that, you can draw a wave structure for that, right? This is AC, and if you have to draw a direct current, this is the graph. So main difference is alternating current is a current which changes the direction and magnitude continuously, and DC current, it will not have a change in magnitude or direction. It has a constant direction and magnitude. How many times does the AC used in India change the direction in 1 second? So the frequency of AC in India is 50 Hertz, right? It is 50 Hertz. That means 2 times it changes the directions in 1 second. Okay, so in one oscillation. So in India, the direction in 1 second, 50 Hertz means two times it changes the direction in one oscillation. Okay, one wave changes the direction 2 times. So 50 Hertz means 50 oscillations in 1 second. So 100 times it changes the direction in 1 second. Okay, so see, this is one oscillation, right? So it changed direction 2 times. So this is one oscillation. So frequency 50 Hertz means that it changes the direction. It oscillates 50 times in 1 second. So in 1 second, 2 oscillations. So in one oscillation, it changes direction 2 times. So in 1 second, it changes 100 times the direction. Or we can say that every 1/100th of a second, the direction of AC is changing in India. Next question. What is the role of fuse used in series with any electrical appliance? Why should a fuse with defined rating not be replaced by one with a larger rating? The role of a fuse wire is to protect the device from any unwanted things happening in the circuit. That means if excess current flows in the circuit, the fuse wire will be melting and it will break the circuit and protect the devices. So when we are using a fuse wire of different current rating, if you are replacing a fuse wire with a different current rating, it will not protect the device, because fuse wire of a specific rating means that for a particular appliance there will be a maximum allowable current, and if that exceeds, right, if the wire is not melting, if you are not using a proper current rating fuse wire, the fuse wire will not melt. So there is no use of using that fuse wire. That is why always we have to replace the fuse wire with the same current rating, okay, the required amount of current rating. Okay, so the next question is, why does the magnetic compass needle pointing north-south in the absence of a nearby magnet get deflected when a bar magnet or a current carrying loop is brought near it? Describe some salient features of the magnetic lines of field concept. Why does a magnetic compass needle pointing north and south in the absence of a nearby magnet get deflected when a bar magnet or a current carrying loop is brought near it? So normally when we keep a compass needle, it aligns in the north-south direction. That means it aligns in the Earth's magnetic field. So if you bring a bar magnet, the compass needle will align in the direction of the magnetic field of the bar magnet. If there is a current carrying conductor is brought, then it will align in the magnetic field of the current carrying magnet. Describe some salient features of the magnetic lines of field concept. The most repeated question. The salient features of the magnetic field lines are, they are closed loops, they will not intersect each other. The closer the magnetic field lines, then the strength is more, right? They never intersect each other. That is very important. The degree of closeness of the magnetic field lines indicate the strength of the magnetic field. And magnetic field lines emerge from the north and merges to the south pole. They are the salient features of the magnetic lines of field. So you can note down all these questions, write down this in your notebook and learn all the questions and answers very clearly. If you have any doubt, you can put those doubts in the comment box. Okay, so we can wind up the session here, and if you are first time to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for more updates. I will be giving the link for the multiple choice questions in the description box. Watch that video, note down those videos also. It's very important because last year the latest board exams, most of those questions appeared, so it will be going to help you definitely in the coming exams. Okay, so the topics electricity and magnetism, it's going to finish now, and in the next video I will be coming with the new chapter, light, reflection and refraction. So from electricity we are going to another branch of physics, that is optics. Okay, it's a very interesting chapter, so stay tuned for light, reflection and refraction. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.